Hello students, now we have read the complete story Yellow Lightning. Now let's start part 3 of the lesson where we will discuss the book exercises. So let's begin. Alright, complete the following sentences. Every night Khoka told his pillow. So do you remember? Every night Khoka told his pillow to wake him up as soon as he heard the rooster. So now children, do you know what a rooster is? It's the male chicken that says cook-a-doodle-doo in the morning. Khoka believed his pillow could wake him up. Silly, right? But it shows he was a small child with imagination. Second one, Khoka's mother served him dash before he left for school. So what did he eat before going to school? Khoka's mother served him a bowl of hot milk and some flattened rice soaked in it. So she gave him a bowl of hot milk and flattened rice. Flattened rice is also called poha. Have you eaten poha? Khoka ate it with milk before school. Third one, Khoka's school was dash away from his village. So how much was the distance? It was 5 to 6 kilometers away. That means he had to walk almost 2 hours. Imagine you walking for 2 hours every day just to go to school. Wouldn't you feel tired? Next, in those days, parents feared dash. So what did the parents fear? They feared ghosts and spirits. Long ago, people believed forests were full of ghosts. So they were afraid to send children out alone. So you can write it as parents feared supernatural beings like ghosts and spirits. Supernatural means something that cannot be explained by the laws of science. Next, Khoka was thinking of Dash when he saw the streak of yellow lightning, means when he saw the tiger. What was he thinking about? He was thinking of candy. His mother gave him 1 paisa and he wanted to buy sweets with it. So when he saw the yellow lightning, he was actually thinking about toffee. You can write it as he was thinking of the candy he would buy with the 1 paisa his mother had given him. Next one, Khoka was sent off to a dash a month later. So where was he sent after 1 month? He was sent to a boarding school. A boarding school is a school where children live and study away from home. So you can write he was sent off to a boarding school in Rourkela a month later. Now fill in the blanks are over. Let's move on to answer the questions in a few lines. Let's start. What did Khoka find his mother doing when he woke up? Why was she always busy? So when Khoka woke up, he saw his mother roasting rice flakes on a hot pan. She was always busy because she had to cook, work in the fields, and also take care of the cows, right? So mothers work so hard, don't they? You can write this answer as when Khoka woke up, he found his mother roasting a fistful of flattened rice on the iron griddle. She was always busy because she had to work in the kitchen and in the fields. She also had to milk the cows. Next question. Describe Khoka's long walk to school. Khoka walked 5 to 6 kilometers. That is very far. He had to pass through dark jungles in the early morning with only a small torchlight. He walked on dried leaves listening to scary forest sounds. It took him almost 2 hours. Imagine doing that every day. So now you have to describe his long walk to school. Khoka's school was 5 to 6 kilometers away from his village and it was a long trek. Every day, early morning, he trudged through the jungles on the dry bed of leaves. It would still be dark outside, and he would just have his feeble torchlight, means very faint, to guide his way. It would take him at least 2 hours to reach his school. Okay, this is how you describe the journey. Next question. What happened to Khoka when he saw the amber lightning? What did he do? Amber means golden yellow. When he saw that lightning, means when he saw the tiger, his face became pale and he shivered with fear. He ran fast through the forest, almost falling down, and finally reached home scared. Have you ever been so scared that your heart beats very fast? That is how Khoka felt. You can write this answer as When Khoka saw the amber lightning, color drained from his cheeks, means he became pale, and he started shivering with fear. He turned around, ran through the forest, and almost collapsed on reaching home, barely able to tell his mother what he had seen in the forest. Barely means he was hardly able to tell her what he had seen. Next one. Why did Kamal tell Khoka's mother to offer a puja? What other tiger encounter did he narrate? So Kamal said that the forest goddess had protected the kid. He also told a scary story that another man named Raghav had once been badly hurt by a tiger in the same forest. Raghav even wrote about yellow lightning, but sadly he died. So you can write this as Kamal told Khoka's mother to offer a puja, saying that the goddess of the forest had returned her son to her. He told her about another man called Raghav, who had been badly mauled by the tiger when he had gone to chop firewood in the forest. Raghav also had kept muttering about yellow lightning, but he could not be saved. Next question. Where did Khoka live as a retired government servant? What did he remember when he visited his childhood village? So, do you remember he lived in Bhubaneswar after becoming a government officer? But when he visited his village, he remembered his childhood, walking in the dark mornings, going through the forest, and the bright flash of lightning. You can write it as Khoka lived in Bhubaneswar as a retired government servant. When he visited his childhood village, a walk through the Sal forest, Sal is the name of the trees, and that forest would bring back memories of the dark, cold mornings when he used to go to school, punctuated by fireflies. Punctuated means interrupted by fireflies and that beautiful amber light that he saw only once. Okay, so this is what he is going to remember. Moving on to the next page. Life skills and values. This part makes us think. Question number 1. The story describes life in a village. How do you think village life is different from city life? So this is village life versus city life. In villages, life is simple, fewer cars, less pollution. In cities, we have more facilities but also more noise and pollution. Okay, so you have to write in a balanced manner. You can write it as life in a village is more beautiful and simpler than city life. There are very few vehicles in the villages, so there is much lesser pollution. The environment is peaceful and calm. Fruits and vegetables are grown organically and are free of pesticides, unlike the ones available in the city markets. However, villages lack hospitals and schools with good facilities and services. There are also no options for entertainment like cinema halls, amusement park, malls, which cities have in plenty. So there are pros and cons of both the places. Next one. Koka found the flash of amber lightning both beautiful and scary. How do you think something can be both beautiful and scary at the same time? Give examples of two other things which fit the above description. You can write any other example. You can compare it with any other thing, but I am taking example of a snake. For example, a snake looks shiny and pretty, but it's also dangerous. So beautiful but scary things. Some things that are both beautiful and scary. For example, big mountains also. They look majestic, but they can have avalanches and landslides. So beauty and danger can go together. Okay? You can write this answer as there are a few things that are beautiful and scary at the same time. A snake, for example, looks beautiful because of their shiny scales, but one is also scared of it. Similarly, high mountains look beautiful and majestic, but they are also pose much dangers to trekkers and travelers. Avalanches, snowstorms, and landslides make these mountains scary and dangerous. Next one. An adult Khoka has vivid memories of his childhood. Do you think children are happier than grown ups? Give reasons for your answer. So, what do you think? Are children happier than adults? Yes, because children don't worry about jobs, money, or responsibilities. They just play, study, and enjoy. Adults have many problems. Childhood is the happiest time. So, you can write this as yes, I agree that childhood is the best time of one's life. A child has no worries and has loving parents to take care of all their needs. Childhood is the time to enjoy life and have fun. Children are carefree and innocent. They are close to nature and love to explore without being burdened by the common problems faced by adults on a daily basis. Next one. Look at the underlined verb in the first sentence in each pair, then complete the second sentence with the noun form. So you have to change verb to noun. I admired the football player's skill. How can you make noun from admired? It will be admiration. I was filled with admiration at the football player's skill. This is how you form nouns from verbs. Either you can add a suffix, okay, like sion, tion, ation, ment, ance, and ence. Okay, these are used to form nouns. For example, informed, information. Okay, this is how you can complete the sentences. Now read these sentences. Ma was waiting with his brass bowl of piping hot milk and some flattened rice soaked in it. The word some. The neighborhood children spent every day roaming aimlessly in the village. So these words like some, any, little, few, each and every, they give us information about the quantity of countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, remember, little is used with things we cannot count, like milk, little milk. Few is used with things we can count, like children. Okay, so these are the words of quantity. We use these words to show how many or how much. May I have dash more milk to drink, any more drink, or some more drink? You are hopeful. So what will you use? You will use may I have some milk. I want to have a dash more rice, little more rice or many more rice. Just now as we discussed, little is used to show things that we cannot count. Little more rice. There is very dash time left to complete your homework. Little time or few time. Can you count time? No. Little time. We would like dash all student to get a prize or every student to get a prize. Every student. We are talking about everyone. The dancer wore bangles on dash wrist. Any wrist or each wrist? Each wrist. Okay, not any. Very few or less children wanted to study for the test. Very few or very less? Very few children wanted to study for the test. Let's move ahead. So these are the idioms. Like for example, his blood ran cold. It means felt very scared. When Khoka saw the tiger, his blood ran cold. Okay, it means he felt so scared. Now you have to find the meaning of these idioms related to fear using an online dictionary. I'm giving the answers, but you can find on your own. These are the idioms about fear. Idioms are fun expressions that don't mean exactly what the words say. Okay, like butterflies in one's stomach. So we are not talking about butterflies in the stomach, but it means feeling nervous, being very nervous or excited about something. For example, before my exam, I had butterflies in my stomach. Okay, because you get nervous, right? Next one, hold one's breath. It means waiting anxiously or excitedly for something to happen. For example, I held my breath when I saw the results coming. Okay. Third one, heart in one's mouth. It means feel very excited, worried, or frightened. Okay, very scared. For example, when the dog barked loudly, my heart was in my mouth. Okay, this is how you can use the idioms. Fourth one, afraid of one's own shadow. The meaning is very timid or nervous. You're afraid of your own shadow. Okay, that means you're very timid. Example, he's so shy, he's afraid of his own shadow. Next one, shake like a leaf. It means shivering in fear. Okay, for example, the child shook like a leaf in the thunderstorm. To shake because one is cold, afraid, or nervous. Okay, there can be any reason. So now this is over, children. We finished everything: comprehension, life skills, vocabulary, grammar, and idioms. So remember, read slowly, understand each sentence, and imagine the story in your mind. All right, thank you. Bye bye.